Sometimes the loudest betrayal is a pause, not an argument, not a door slam, just 1 second where you hesitate, and a child hears, "I'm negotiable." When your mother demands control, your work demands loyalty, and your wife is shaking in silence, what you choose next doesn't fix tonight. It rewrites what your family will remember you for. Alex's mother walked into the wooden house and made a decision with her first breath. "Tuna, lie down," she said. Tuna tried to smile. "I'm okay, Mother." "Lie down," Alex's mother repeated, quieter, like she was removing all options. Tuna didn't argue again. She moved to the bed because Henry was watching, and she couldn't afford to scare him more. Henry stood at the edge of the mattress, holding Tuna's shirt with both hands. He wasn't crying. He was just fixed on the adults, as if he'd learned that quiet is what you do before someone takes something away. Ba Tang stayed near the doorway, arms folded. She didn't interfere yet. Her eyes said she was ready to. Alex's mother pulled a plastic bag from her handbag, medicine packets, a thermometer, a folded follow-up paper from the clinic. She poured warm water into a cup and set it on the table within Tuna's reach. Then she taped the follow-up schedule to the wooden wall above the bed. Tuna stared at it. A simple sheet of paper, but it felt like a sentence. Alex sat on the bed's edge, close enough to be there, not close enough to comfort. His phone vibrated in his hand. Again. Again. The company never stopped. He glanced down by reflex. Tat. His mother's voice cut through the room. Alex looked up. "Mom, I have to answer. The agricultural contracts are suspended. The plywood factory is being checked. If I don't respond..." "If you don't respond," his mother said, "someone waits. If you don't show up for your wife, she collapses." Alex's throat tightened. Tuna turned her head toward him. Her voice was soft, but it landed hard. "Listen to Mother," she said. Alex froze. Tuna almost never used his mother in a sentence like that. She didn't like pushing him with family. If she was saying it now, it meant she had no strength left to carry the burden alone. Ba Tang finally spoke, calm and sharp. "She's not trying to control you. She's trying to survive." Alex's mother sat in the chair beside the bed like she was holding a meeting. "From tonight, this house has rules," she said. "Quiet rules." She pointed toward the small kitchen area, where the stove was cold and the sink looked half-finished. "This," she said to Alex, "is what your busy looks like." Alex opened his mouth, then closed it. Henry climbed awkwardly onto the mattress edge and pressed his forehead into Tuna's shoulder. Tuna's hand moved to his back, slow and careful. She didn't lift him. She just held him close enough that he could breathe. Alex's mother watched that hand and tightened her mouth. "No heavy lifting," she said. "Not now." Tuna's lips pressed together. "Henry is one. He doesn't understand. Don't cling." "I understand," Alex's mother replied. "So adults will manage." Her eyes flicked to Ba Tang. "He can sleep with you tonight. Tuna needs rest." Henry heard the shift in tone, like a decision being made about him. His fingers dug into Tuna's shirt. His breath turned uneven. Tuna's voice shook once, then steadied. "Don't move him like that," she said. "He'll think I'm sending him away." Alex's mother paused. It was the first pause she'd allowed. Then she said, "Then he stays close, but you don't carry him around the yard. You don't do chores. You don't prove anything." Ba Tang's voice stayed even. Managing a child isn't the same as replacing his mother. Alex's phone vibrated again. His fingers curled around it like muscle memory. "Tat," his mother said again. And this time it was a test. Alex looked at Tuna. Her eyes were open but distant. Not angry, not dramatic. Just exhausted in a way that scared him more than any shouting. He could face partners. He could face inspectors. He didn't know how to face his wife lying there, trying to be quiet so the baby wouldn't feel her fear. Alex pressed the power button. The screen went dark. The room went still. Not peaceful, just still. Tuna exhaled slowly, like she'd been holding her breath all day. For a second, her shoulders softened. Then she turned her face away again, as if relief was a trick. Alex's mother adjusted the blanket over Tuna's legs. The gesture was gentle. The meaning was strict. Then she turned to Alex. "You stay here tonight," she said. "Not at the company. Not with one foot outside the door. Here." Alex swallowed. "If something happens at work..." "Something is happening," Batang cut in. "Right here." Alex's mother added, "If you can't be here, I will be. I'll stay on this farm as long as I need to. But this house has to be quiet, Alex. No more storms carried in through your phone." Alex looked at Henry. Henry's eyes were fixed on Alex's hands, like he was watching for the phone to come back to life, like he was watching for Alex to leave and not return. That look made Alex's chest tighten. Alex leaned closer, voice low. "Tuna, I'm here." Tuna didn't answer right away. When she did, it was barely above a whisper. "I don't need you to say it," she said. "I need you to stop making me prove I'm strong." Alex's eyes stung. "I'm sorry." Tuna still didn't look at him. "Not tonight," she said. "Don't make me comfort you too." Alex flinched, because she was right. Even his apology carried a quiet request. His mother watched him, then spoke like a verdict. "You can be a CEO," she said, "but if you keep being a husband like this, you're failing." Alex lowered his head. Henry made a small, thin sound and pressed closer to Tuna's side. Tuna's hand held him there, protective, trembling. Alex's mother stood. "This is the last time I walk into this house and see her like this," she said. Batang added softer. "Turning off the phone doesn't fix the reason it keeps buzzing." Alex nodded once, not trusting his voice. For a moment, there was only breathing. Tuna's, Henry's, Alex's. Then, outside, a car door slammed. Batang's head snapped toward the yard. Alex's mother's face tightened. Alex stood up automatically, stepping toward the doorway. Tuna lifted her head, eyes suddenly alert. And in Alex's palm, even though the phone was off, it buzzed once more, like the storm had found a way in anyway. The car door slam didn't sound loud, but it cut through the house like a warning. Batang stayed at the doorway. She didn't step outside. She just looked, then looked back at Alex, as if to say, "Don't run before you even know what's happening." Alex's mother walked to the window first. She didn't rush. She didn't panic. She simply checked, like she was confirming the next problem had arrived on time. Alex was already halfway to the door. Tuna's voice stopped him. "Alex?" It wasn't a shout. It was a quiet call that carried a lot of weight. Alex turned. Tuna had sat up slightly, one hand on her belly, the other steadying Henry against her side. Her face was pale, but her eyes were sharp now. She was trying to stay calm, but fear always had a way of rising fast when you were tired. "Don't leave like that," she said, not in front of him. Henry's small fingers were still gripping her shirt. He was watching Alex's feet more than his face. Alex stopped. He forced himself to slow down. He took a breath like he was stepping into cold water. "I'm not leaving," he said, but he didn't sound sure. Alex's mother opened the front door before anyone else could. She stood in the doorway, blocking the frame with her body. Lon was outside. She looked uncomfortable, like she'd been driving with her shoulders tight the whole way. She wasn't holding a smile. She wasn't trying to play friendly. She looked like an employee who didn't want to be the person bringing bad news to a family house. "Sorry, Mother," Lon said first, respectful out of instinct. Then she looked at Alex. "Boss, they couldn't reach you." Alex's mother didn't step aside. "He turned his phone off," she said. Lan swallowed. "I understand, but it's urgent." Tuna heard the word urgent, and her stomach tightened. She hated how that word always belonged to the company, never to her. Alex took one step forward, careful not to make Henry flinch. "Lon, what happened?" Lon held up a folder. "The partner from the fruit chain confirmed. They want you at 8 tomorrow morning, no delays. They said if you're not there in person, they'll freeze the contract." Alex's jaw flexed. 8, he repeated, like he was calculating the cost. Lan continued, faster now, like she didn't want to drag it out. "And the plywood factory inspection? They moved it up. Early. They're saying they need your signature on the compliance report." Alex's mother's face stayed still, but her eyes hardened. "So he goes," she said, like it was already decided. Tuna looked down at Henry without meaning to. Henry's grip tightened again. The moment he sensed movement, his body reacted. Alex heard Henry's small breath hitch and forced himself to soften his voice. "Lan, can it wait one day?" Lan's eyes dropped. They specifically said no. They used the word leadership. "I think rumors are making them bold." Alex's mother stepped back inside, shutting the door halfway so the wind didn't bring the outside in. She looked at Alex, then at Tuna. "You see," she said quietly, "this is why I said the house must be calm. He cannot create calm if work keeps dragging him." Alex's shoulders tensed. "Mom, don't turn this into—" "I'm not turning anything," she cut in. "I'm naming it." Tuna's voice came out small. "Lan, is it really that serious?" Lan hesitated. It wasn't her place to scare a pregnant woman, but it was also her job to be honest. "Yes," Lan said. "It's serious." Henry shifted restless. Not because he understood contracts, because he understood tone. He understood when adults started talking over him. Tuna pressed her cheek to Henry's hair and whispered, "It's okay. Mommy's here." Alex watched that whisper and something in his chest pulled tight. Lon spoke again, softer. "Boss, I'm sorry. I didn't want to come here." Alex nodded once. "You did the right thing." Alex's mother took the folder from Lon without asking. She opened it quickly, eyes scanning as if she'd been reading contracts her whole life too. Then she closed it and looked at Tuna. "We leave tonight," she said. Tuna blinked. "What?" Alex's mother didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. "City home," she said. "Now, no waiting. We already lost time." Alex frowned. "Mom, it's late. And Henry?" "Henry stays here," his mother said, as if that part was simple. Tuna's face tightened. "No." One word. Flat. Immediate. Alex's mother turned her head slightly, studying Tuna like she was seeing her new for the first time. "Tuna," the doctor said, "avoid stress. You are pale. You're shaking. This is not a debate." Tuna's hand moved to her belly on instinct. "I'm not debating my health," she said. "I'm debating Henry." Batang stepped closer. "You don't separate a child from his mother when he's already scared." Alex's mother looked at Batang, then back at Tuna. "Then bring him," she said, switching strategies. "Bring him to the city too. There will be help." Tuna's eyes narrowed. Help from who? Alex's mother's mouth tightened. From me. Tuna didn't answer right away. Her silence was not agreement. It was calculation. She had learned the hard way that help could become ownership. Alex tried to keep the room from breaking again. We can go for checkups, he said, careful. Tomorrow after the meeting, I'll drive you myself. Lon shifted awkwardly, still standing there, still holding her bag like she wished she could disappear. Alex's mother cut him off. You will be at the company all day, and when you come home, you will bring more phone calls into the house, more pressure, more urgent. Alex's jaw tightened. So what do you want? Me to quit? I want you to stop pretending you can do everything, his mother said, because your wife is paying for your pretending. Tuna closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them, her voice was steady, but her throat sounded tight. I'm tired, she said, but I'm still here. Well, I'm still his mother. Henry heard the firmness and lifted his head. His eyes were wet. He looked at Tuna like he was checking if she meant it. Tuna kissed his forehead once. She didn't do it to be sweet. She did it to anchor him. Alex spoke quietly. Mom, give us one night. His mother didn't move. You had many nights, she replied. You spent them on work. Alex flinched. Tuna looked at Alex then. Her eyes didn't accuse. They asked something harder. If you're standing here, why do I still feel alone? Alex swallowed. Tuna. I'm trying. Tuna nodded slowly. I know. That was what made it cruel. She wasn't calling him evil. She wasn't calling him careless. She was watching him try, and still seeing the damage. Batang stepped toward Alex, voice low. Trying is not the same as protecting. Alex's throat tightened. He turned to Lan. Lan, tell them I'll be there at 8. Tell them no excuses. Lan nodded quickly, relieved to have a clear instruction. Yes, boss. Then Alex's mother turned to Tuna again. Pack one bag, she said. Only essentials. You sleep in the city tonight. Tuna didn't move. Her eyes dropped to Henry's hands. His fingers were still curled in her shirt like a lock. She looked up at Alex. If I go, she said, you promise Henry comes with me? Alex hesitated. It was only a second, but Tuna felt it like a slap. Henry felt it too. His mouth trembled, and a quiet cry slipped out. Not loud, not dramatic, just the thin sound of a child losing faith. Tuna's face went rigid. Alex, she said, voice shaking now, don't pause. Alex's mother stepped in immediately. He's pausing because he's thinking, she said. He has responsibilities. Tuna looked straight at her. So do I. The room went still. Lan stared at the floor, wishing she wasn't there. Batang's eyes stayed on Tuna steady, like she was silently saying, don't shrink. Tuna held Henry tighter, then lifted her head to Alex. You can go be CEO tomorrow, she said, but tonight you choose what kind of husband you are. Alex's phone was off, but it still felt like it was buzzing in his palm. He looked at his mother's face, certain, controlling, convinced she was saving them. Then he looked at Tuna, pale, trembling, still trying not to break in front of Henry. Henry cried softly against her chest, whispering something that wasn't a full sentence, only fear. Alex opened his mouth to answer, and in that moment, he realized whatever he said next would become a memory Henry kept forever. In the wooden house, the air turns heavy with the kind of pressure that never raises its voice. A mother-in-law arrives and quietly takes control. Medicine on the table, rules on the wall, a calm tone that leaves no room for argument. A pregnant woman tries to stay composed for the sake of the child watching everything. while the man she depends on sits close enough to look present, but not close enough to feel safe. Outside forces keep intruding: work calls, inspections, suspended contracts, urgent demands that refuse to respect a family's breaking point. When an employee shows up at the door with new deadlines, the home becomes a meeting room, and help starts to sound like ownership. Everyone insists they're doing what's necessary. Nobody wants to be cruel. Yet the smallest hesitation begins to wound, especially in front of a child who doesn't understand the words, only the fear underneath them.